Hi everyone, it's Diane. I am really happy to be able to show this journal to you. I love this journal. It is bright and fresh and yet still vintage. It is my design team project for Studio28E, and it's using the Kate Greenaway digital set and also the add-on set. I used everything. I only made one journal and I used everything from the kit in this book. There was nothing left over except a part of this page. This page it was this twice. I cut off half of it. But this lends itself very well to cutting it up into portions. And I had stenciled it thinking it was going to be a page, but it was an extra page. So I did cut up pieces of it and use it in the book. This is going to be sent along with the book to its new owner, along with the cut-off pieces from the papers and some some die cuts that I had made. So all of this will be sent with the book. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the book. This is a beautiful green seam binding. It is vintage, and it came in a package, so it's got the creases where it was wrapped around the card. I will be wetting that and letting it dry, which worked really well with the blue seam binding on the previous journals that I did. So this matches the cover great. And this was just a library book, plain library book that I bought just for the cover. My library has books $1 a bag. So I had purchased quite a lot of just covers that I like the colors of or the size of or whatever. So I thought this color was perfect for the Kate Greenaway collection. I used the cover page that she has in the kit. So this beautiful image is on the front part, and then the back is a nice design, very textured, like a textile design, and it says Kate Greenaway at the bottom, which is partly covered up because I put this vintage doily on it. There's some vintage green gingham on the spine and then some crochet trim. So the colors, Kate Greenaway, just so you know, was an artist of the Victorian age. I had thought that she was earlier than that because of the style of dresses, which would be the Jane Austen age. That's not an actual historical age, but we understand the Jane Austen age. Regency era was prior to the Victorian era. So she lived in the Victorian era, but her illustrations have fashions of the Regency era earlier in the century. And I did find out that she, of course she was British, she died at age 55 of breast cancer. And I don't think that she was married, that she had ever married, but I'm not positive about that. But that's all I know about Kate Greenaway. But I know that I have always loved her very soft and sweet and old-fashioned illustrations. So I was very happy to be able to use this kit for this journal. There are 3 signatures. Let's see. I think there's 36 pages front and back in each signature. There was another page that was like one big illustration, and I cut that in half to be on the front and the back end papers. It says Happy Days, but that part got cut in half. But it's just a nice illustration and a nice way to begin and end the book. There's yellow gingham on the inside, also vintage fabric. A lot of the pages got printed on cardstock paper because I didn't realize that I had cardstock paper in my printer. So some was printed on regular and some was printed on cardstock. But I don't mind. I did not use any coffee dyeing paper. Any coffee dyed. So it didn't have the bulk of the crinkly paper. So I didn't mind the heaviness of the cardstock. So here's the first page, and I put some beautiful lace on that edge. There's one of her images. This one was printed on regular paper, so I backed it with cardstock and sewed it. And these are a couple of the tags that come with the kit. I didn't coffee dye anything on the back. I did stamp "This book belongs to" on the back of that. There were several strips of design, so I put, this one is like a green, celery green parchment paper, and I glued this strip on and then this little circle for embellishment. One of the beautiful illustrations on that kind of a textured paper. I used my Big Shot and these 3 colors of cardstock to cut out some embellishments, and including tabs. So this is one of the tabs. I love the fabric flips. Someone had sent me this gorgeous fabric in a Happy Mail recently, and I used it on all 3 signatures, and these are pieces of the fabrics that I got at the quilt shop from Moda, the little charms packs. There's the stenciling that we did with my new blending brushes. I did a video about them. There's one of her beautiful illustrations on some lined paper. She illustrated children's books. This is something I cut out with my Big Shot, a little pennant with tassels and the word shine. I used some colored copy paper, and I put hearts in the centers on the strings. This one I just stapled onto the edge with some copper staples. This was, what color cardstock was it? It was like this color cardstock, or no, it was this, so it was even brighter. And I put it through my Big Shot with a texture folder, and you can see it embossed. It didn't emboss very deeply, but I rubbed some white paint over it that has a little bit of the stuff you put in it to make it glimmery. It does have a little bit of glimmer in it to give it more of a whitewashed look, and you can still see a little bit of the texture from the embossing folder. This is vintage trim here, and one of the images, and some vintage fabric, and a piece, just a die cut piece there, and it's a little pocket. This one I have to back with some heavier paper, some white cardstock to make it heavier. I thought I had done them all, but I missed that one. So the pages that I wanted on thin paper got printed on cardstock, and the things that I wanted on cardstock got printed on thin paper. This is a vintage handkerchief. I love this, and it looks so nice with this blue, or this yellow paper, and a beautiful piece of vintage lace. This is from the kit, and it's a little envelope that you fold and glue, and there's this gorgeous tag with one of her illustrations, and I glued this on as a tuck spot so I could put this in. These were printed on cardstock. The belly bands, I put some of the die cut pieces behind them for a little interest, and then a little piece down here to catch the tag so it doesn't slip out. This is one of the offcuts of paper. I just folded it in half and cut the angles for the tag, and then glued on one of the elements from the kit. This is printed onto the paper. This one is a pocket, and there's a little bit of vintage lace sewn on there. And this is an envelope from the kit. And I just put a little half index card in there with a green paper clip. This was printed on cardstock, so the flap wants to pop up a little bit. It'll start staying down once it's been pressed in there for a while. And a little sunflower card. I love this page with the strawberries on it, and the little children sitting there side by side looking a little bit uncomfortable and nervous. Love this pocket with the angled cut on it. And I added this and this one. This is so beautiful. Her images are just so, look at how sweet that mama and baby and little girl are just so sweet. The second signature has this trim along the side and the same. I think there are 3 of these circles in the kit, so I use that 3 times in the book. There's another tab, another one of the fabric flips. This is a page from the kit with journaling lines. This is one of my die cuts, and the word sweet. And here's a little poem, The Wedding Bells. So I put this in the center so you could see the whole page. Another little long and narrow tag I stapled on. Here's another pocket that I die cut, or embossed. This is my new deeper embossing folder from Stampin' Up! Looks tufted. In fact, I think that's the name of it, tufted. I'm not sure. But it has a thicker folder so that it ends up with a deeper embossing. And again, it was this color of blue, and I rubbed some white paint over it to give it a whitewashed look, and then some vintage lace and some vintage fabric is there. This is a little postcard. This is not a Kate Greenaway piece of art, and it's more Pioneer Girl than Kate Greenaway Girl style, but the colors were beautiful with it, and I just loved it. So I included it in this pocket. Another poem, and there's another vintage handkerchief with this gorgeous yellow crochet edging, some green rickrack up there. There are 2 of these little flip pockets in the kit, and they are printed so that this is what they're for. There's a line for folding. It's white on the other side that you're going to fold down, and then I just put this little circle tag inside and this little library tag. Here's another belly band with a blue circle behind it, and this little oval here says Dream, and here is the tag. This journal I am just going to have listed in my shop. By the time this video is up, it will be in my shop. I'm not going to wait. I'm just going to list it, so first come, first serve on this. Well, that's the way it is with all of them, but no warning. I'm just going to list it. For this pocket, I just glued 2 of my die cut circle and oval together, and then added a few embellishments from the kit. This little line of embroidery is from the kit, and these are both from the kit. This is from that sheet that I cut apart. Art is just so beautiful. One day I'll have to make another one of these, but I'm kind of short on time this month for getting my design team projects done, so I'm just doing one of this one and probably one of the next one for Old Design Shop. This I was experimenting with making a tucked pocket. I took this vintage gingham fabric and just kind of made tucks and stitched it at the top and the bottom, and added some ribbons and a bit of bias tape there, and put a tag inside. And there's the last fabric flip with that gorgeous lace. Another tassel, and this one says Smile. This kit is available at Studio28E, and I will link that Etsy shop below. And there's another piece of that page that I cut apart, and I rounded the corners and stapled it here. This pocket is another one that's embossed and whitewashed. Vintage trim at the top, vintage fabric here, a long daisy tag. I love that. There's 2 of them in the kit. And this of some older ladies that are sitting around and gossiping, probably. Look at the cats sitting at their feet. Beautiful, beautiful handkerchief with some fuzzy blue rickrack. There's the other flip. It's part of the kit. Another library card. And this is a little foldable sheet. You could glue it to make it an envelope, but I left it open so you can journal on it. And the last belly band, I made a vertical one. Added this yellow oval behind it and put this little card inside. Beautiful image. So yeah, I love this book. And I hope that you will love it too. I love the colors. There's something about this bright spring look that I just love. So this will be in my shop. I will link it below. I will link Studio28E below. And I thank you so much for watching today. And I would like to say welcome to all of my new subscribers. I've had a huge increase in my subscribers over the last week. And I don't really know the reason for that, but I really, really appreciate it. And I want to say hi to all of you new subscribers. And welcome to new ones coming on board even today. Thank you so much, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.